he wanna hang. That's what they call it over there. He wanna hang such and such, hang such and such. That's wrong. So the thing is that people don't know what my purpose is. Some of these people been doing things for far too long, and it's what's causing the corruptness in the world. I heard my twin do a lecture like this about 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. She said when karma come back around, immediately people want you to feel sorry for them. And that's so true. But you can tell she been through it. I can tell she been through that Cinderella stuff. Because it's a format. And what it is that, so let's look at the Cinderella story. In the Cinderella story, everybody liked the family. The neighbors, because they were paying them. But they had to sacrifice somebody, maybe in the family, to pay them. It ain't right to do that at all. You don't have to do that, We ain't in slavery anymore, but we continuing to live as if we in slavery. You gotta go through it, then your family treats you bad. That's all programming though. They don't probably want to. It's all programming. So it's like it's always going on. It's ongoing. It's ongoing. So everybody wanna treat you bad. I always remember what I said. I said people gonna go to the leadership care, preaching and everything. These people who've been doing this, like I said, I did a lecture like this a few weeks ago. Somebody said, well, you gotta sacrifice somebody in order for everybody else to eat. And they believe that. Wholeheartedly, they believe that. So when they go over there to the Libra scale, that's their argument. Well, God, you think God want us to sacrifice each other to survive? Of course not. That's an illusion. Some illusions good, some illusions just horrible. That's an illusion. There's plenty enough for everybody. That's just an illusion. But it's like these people say, when they say hang in the astro, they basically, I think, talking about who's the next up to be taken apart, basically. Reset it, crossing over, or I guess, Well, again, what's my purpose? Understanding the trees, the garden of Eden, the trees. We starting to get that. If you don't belong to this tree, don't eat off that tree. Well, and you got Genesis. Okay? We got to look at this humbly and with great common sense and wisdom. Okay, you got darkness that's been going on because it's a certain group of people who really don't know no better. Who time been up, they need to be in their golden days. And when you're in your golden day, you hear older people say, you're in your golden day. They say this because why do they say this? They say this because it's time to clean up. So when you hear your grandparents say, okay, you in your golden days, your grandparents tell their kids, okay, you in your golden days, they say that because death is around the corner, it's time to heal. Then y'all out there say, well, he's wrong, because these people that's talking like this probably elite. They know how it goes or something. Well, somebody that knows elite people done talk to them, and they didn't really get it when the elite said it. Like my man said, the snake in the garden on the commercial, like you gotta get it. You can't really explain this stuff. It's almost forbidden to try to explain something like that. Well, um, they tell you your golden days are here. It's time to heal your soul. It's time for you to heal your soul. Because, like my father say, prison is good, really. It really is. 'Cause you got to go to prison in the physical. It might help you in the spiritual. If you actually use prison to heal. If you truly did the crime and you use that time to heal, it's going to help you greatly in the spiritual. But if you go your whole life doing this kind of stuff, y'all think, I'm telling you, there's a guy that come to the Libra scale in the spiritual. And this guy did not have a clue on why God was sending him straight to hell. The guy was a good person to the neighbors. The guy was a good person to his friends. The guy was a good person to strangers. The guy wasn't a good person to himself. He didn't really take care of his own stuff like he should have. He did things almost like using psychological tricks, basically. You know, he would do things to make himself feel like a god, woman or man. You know, they would sabotage your life, make you have to need them. They need to repent for that. They need to stop that, because they ain't God. And then you got some people in their mind, they're thinking, if I help enough people, God will let me in. It don't work that way. It don't work that way, because when you do that, you forget self. You forget yourself, like the message I did about my family member the other day. And I said, when you got money, don't want you to spend all your money. And you know, black people in general don't think this is bad, but it is bad. Because for one, sometimes the money you got might not even be your money anyway. For two, if somebody been suffering for a long time and you know it, because you probably played a part in it, it's your job to help regardless. To clean, especially if you're in your golden days, you need to heal all that. The problem is, some of these people build this very low vibrational empire that nobody see underneath it all. And these people, what would be a curse to somebody who want people to look at them like a god or somebody to save them? They will start saving too many people. I seen this. I seen somebody go out there and try to save a lot of people and sacrifice their own family without knowing it. Take money from their family, take money from everybody that's part of them, love them, and give it to strangers and stuff like that. And in their heart of hearts, they think they're doing good. This is a warped complex. This is a warped mental complex. This is very bad. This kind of way of thinking is very perverse. So, what am I trying to say here? Well, I'm trying to say this. Some people, God done gave a lot of, God give us all chances, but these people, what they don't see in this is the chances that they get. The chances that they get to redeem their soul and get themselves back together. So it's my job to wake it up to them. I'm the person in the Bible they talk about when God say, I sent my child, I sent my anointed one. I warned you. They warned you. Why didn't you listen? That's who I am. My job, one of my jobs is to do that. So let's say whoever this energy is that's talking, let's say they're talking about the tech, because they know I reset everything. Well, watch them. to you out there that don't know that you perverse and wicked. When I do it, you right back to talking bad. You right back to judging. You right back to sinning. You right back to laughing. You right back to condemning. You right back to playing God. So it's no point. You bind it, and you need to heal. You just need to heal. You're not that person. Some people I've seen people sacrifice somebody and live as that person so much so they think they are that person. It can be friends that do it, lovers that do it, strangers that do it, family members that do it, parents that do it. They'll think they're that person. Them the kind of things that they need to heal before they cross over. Well, that's my job. That's one of my jobs here. To help them realize this. To help them understand this. So you can't look at me like the bad guy. I'm helping them. Helping them try to save their souls. But God ain't buying it. And a lot of this, I think, I've been trying to figure out what did this perverse way of thought come from? I think it's because they feel like when they got away with something, they feel like it was just, they did right by it. You know, it's wicked. It's disturbingly wicked. Like I said, people tell me people love telling me I need to get a job. How you gonna get a job with no contact information? No mailing information. You took the mailing information away. You took my address away. You took my contact information. You took my contact away. The way I can contact the way. So how can you get a job? It's like you sacrifice somebody, and now you bind it to that person for the world to see. You made that person where they couldn't help themselves, but everybody know you did it. And they know you did it. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. I just utilize this to calm to get rid of them emissions, really. And it's working. It's working actually good, better than I thought it would. You know, I was waking up every day wondering would it work, but now I know it's working. Because these people are still doing the same thing, still moving the same, but it ain't affecting me like it used to. So that's what it is. That's what it is. It's like you can't feel sorry. It's like, okay, now let's look at Genesis. You start Genesis. How would you start Genesis over? Really, for real, for real. From the head flows down. If the last person created this corruptness, then the new person will have to be the one to get alleviated, get rid of it. How would you get rid of it? Stand up straight. And let the universe do the rest. Death, God, everybody. Let them do the rest. And let them vacuum, clean up. That's it. That's it. That is it. It's like these, and then the energy shifts. And these people that's upset with the, let me show you how they are. Whoever they're working for, some organization, right? Let's say the organization said, well, we're finna swap the energy up, y'all. Then they're gonna be nice to me and be mean to the other person. So they just programs. And why? They need $1. They need a helping hand. like if I got somebody that treat me bad, a lot of people, no matter who they are, right? Can't register neighbor, tell lies, you know, act like they, if I want to borrow something, oh, they got an attitude about it. I used to be the kind of person that'll keep asking and fuel they nasty attitude, and then I check them, but that started getting me in trouble. I say, why you do that? I'm on blast. Why you keep doing that? That's the only reason why I asked you for something. And why you keep going on with that nasty attitude? And when I do that, I stop doing that. I can't tell the reason why I stopped doing that. Now I just let it go because it ain't working. Because the shoe always change the feet, and the table always turn. These people always wind up in the seat where they wish they never treated somebody like that. It ain't worth it. Some of these people so desperate for $1. I remember I went to one guy, when I first got in this situation, I'm trying to find information of what was going on. I went to this one guy, and this one guy said, I told this guy everything. I thought he was just a neighbor. I seen the guy come over here in the yard and tell my family everything I said. But they didn't care because I was trying to find information. They knew it anyway. But I guess they pay these people to watch you, I guess. And the guy don't know I know it. But I've been wanting to get in that dude. But I've been really, really wanting to get in him real bad. But I'm just leaving it alone because it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I did that before and it ended awful for those people. I checked them. Let me just tell you this. I checked these people and I guess they went on running their mouth about me. It didn't end well for them. My ancestors tore them up. And I told them I said I wouldn't worry about it no more. My ancestors tore them up. And they still don't know this to this day if they still here. Some of them not here no more. They still don't know the ancestors that tore them up. But they kept running their mouth. I made them get in their feelings. I asked them. I said, why you keep doing that? You know? Why you keep moving like that? So let me give y'all an example. The excommunicado. My buddy told John Wick, if I want you dead, you've been dead. Everybody stop and look. I asked those people who stopped and looked. I asked all them. And it's like they started vanishing, basically. But they kept getting in their feelings about it. They were going around talking junk, running their mouth. And I just didn't notice it till now. I mean, I've been noticed it before now, but I'm like, what is that? So now I don't react to stuff like that. I ain't saying they wasn't here. I'm saying like, I ain't saying they died. I'm saying they life just turned into. It was just work. It was just awful. You seen me needed something. You seen me needed something, needed help with something. You didn't help me. And it was like my ancestors put them in a situation where they needed help and they couldn't get it. There's some things worse than death. They just keep going. They just so overbearing. So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say is that these people, me standing up straight like this is helping them more than myself, because it's giving them a chance to redeem themselves and get themselves back together. They looking at it wrong. They looking at it like, you taking this, you taking that and putting me back in this. No, you need to be put that way. You sit there and torture the child to death. You need to be handled, period, because you've been getting away with something that you shouldn't have been getting away with in the first place. And it's best you start dealing with it before you cross over. So it's helping them. They just fighting against the help. This ain't hurting nobody, it's helping them. That's what's wrong with the world today. You take money from somebody and people think you're trying to kill them. That ain't what this is. This shirt right here, y'all. This shirt name, Miss Mo. It's made like this, but to me, I felt like it was a girl shirt. But I looked it up. It's a male shirt. I probably just ain't got enough muscle for it. I looked it up for a while. I'm like, what is this? It look like a girl shirt, but it ain't no girl shirt. And then I remember my never mind. But yeah. But yeah, that shirt, it fit like that. It fit good. It fit like a Zara shirt. I love Zara. You know, it's good stuff, good fabric, good material. But yeah, that's what it is. So it's like I'm trying to help. Now I will say this: everything is before time. And I will say this too: all this is written. That's what everybody needs to be worried about. All this is written. I remember hearing, I think somebody in the Astro said that know about this stuff, this royalty stuff. And they said, I think they asked somebody, what's going on? I think Buddy was like, they gonna be calm. I can't say that part. But they know it. Just know the snake in the garden. That's symbolic. The snake in the garden. You can pretty much guarantee that all those people done been with that snake in the garden. And eventually that snake in the garden gonna have to go back. You know? So the snake in the garden done swallowed up all these people. All of them anyway. You know? You just gotta learn that riddle right there. It's a riddle right there. It's something symbolic right there. A parable or something like that. It's something right there. And that's what it is. And like I said, in my case, they all want you to do this, do that. There's too many people in it. At this point, it just need to be cleaned up by justice and God. It ain't nothing like, even if I wanted to restart my life over and build, I can't. They trapped me too. They did too much. Somebody went above and beyond, and they just did too much. They did too much. Same thing with the job theory. Like, how could you get a job? You ain't get no mail, you get no email, you ain't got no contact with the world. You want somebody to stay stuck so you can talk about them. So you've been doing this a lot, and this time, let's say you've been doing this to the point where you get somebody, you sabotage somebody's life, you get them stuck. Okay, well, typically it's a way for them to unstick themselves. But this time, God made it where that person couldn't unstick themselves. And that left y'all, everybody else looking like the bad guy. Now see, if I was insane or something was wrong with me, it'd be different. But there's nothing wrong with me. I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. So it looked like somebody sacrificed somebody. And it just reflected back on the people who did. They did it to themselves. They overdid it, overkill. That's all it is. And I'd be a fool to try to do this, do that, to, start myself over. And God gonna let me do it. If I fight against that, God gonna let me do it. And then God gonna let me suffer through it. Because when you got your back against the wall like this and you can no longer move, you can't do nothing else, you gotta that's God saying, let me deal with it. When these people put you in a situation, that's like one time I asked my neighbor, for a cigarette a while back. And I said, I gotta get rid of them cats. He said, well, you ain't gonna have nobody to talk to. I could have just grabbed him through that fence and clean them on up. But I let it do because he's older. Because he's older and I ain't even wasting my time with him because I know that he's part of the gang stalking. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that anyway. God wouldn't want me to do nothing like that. But it went through my mind that quick when he said that. You know, just reached through, like somebody reached through the jail bar. I had, you know, let it go. I snap out of it. Just that quick when he said it. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't no laughing matter. Ain't nothing funny about this situation. And like I said, the table will turn. You better hope that I have mercy on you. You better hope that I be understanding and humble about it. And so that way when you do, because everybody eventually needs somebody. When you need somebody, you better hope that I, you know, otherwise it ain't gonna be good, you know, when the table turns. That was a long time ago though. He said about a year and a half ago he said that. He said something like that. That's when I had about 20 cats in my yard. I said, I gotta get rid of the cats. He already got a little attitude about the cigarette. And that's all part of the game too, because they want me to go buy the council, you know. But I buy one cigarette at a time to quit the council, taper off, you know. And they keep saying no, you know, whatever. And I went over there and asked him for one, and I said, hey, you ready, cat? He said, then you ain't gonna have nobody to talk to. Run them out. Really old in their ways. And even his wife passed away not too long ago. She was like at norm. She said this is norm. She was a good person. I used to help them. Like, this is what he don't understand. She was like on hospital, and they need to go to Gainesville and stuff like that. Ain't no that's like an hour drive away from here. And I would I would do that for them without charge. When they needed an emergency to go somewhere, I didn't even think about it. I would go out my way and take them up there, and it costs gas. Gas is high. Gas almost $4 a gallon, $3 a gallon. No, $4 a gallon, I think. Yeah, $4 a gallon. So I went out my way and took them. And still, he wasn't running his mouth about a cigarette. You see what I'm saying? I could check him, but I ain't gonna check him. I want him to see this video. I want them to know I know. But I ain't gotta check nobody. When you're a gang stalker, you ain't gotta check a gang stalker. They want you to. A gang stalker job is to get you in your feelings so you can get locked up. They want you to. But just do, you know what I'm doing now. It ain't worth it. It ain't even worth it. They all blow the horn at each other, they speak to each other. Even my so-called friend, well, they ain't really friends. Like I said, my real friend dead and gone. Y'all all went to the community meeting together. Y'all all part of each other. Y'all don't know me like that. We just, at this point, we barely associates. You know what I'm saying? When the smoke clear, you have to figure out how you gonna try to fix all this. Not me. It's not my job. And you ain't gonna be able to get back in my energy with that false love and acting like you don't know what went on. It's bad when you can be that real with some covenant or organization and you can never be that real for yourself. You know, you can sacrifice your own people and keep them on the ground, keep them broken, but you can't be that real for yourself. Embarrassing.